Being a volunteer firefighter, volunteer emergency medical technician is one of the most rewarding things you can do.
I'd push myself beyond the brink of what I thought I could do. With the support of my station, I was able to make it through things that I would have never thought that I would be able to do.
Anyone can do this, really. It just takes willingness, a lot of passion for it, honestly. Like, you have to work for it.
A lot of people know their career paths and they know their plans. I personally didn't when I joined the volunteer fire department, but it can definitely, change your life. I'm definitely living proof.
My name is Carl Hood, and I'm the rescue chief here at Lake Jackson Volunteer Fire Department. One of the major advantages of having volunteer firefighters and EMTs is that we do provide the community the service for free. The units that we staff, because of the uniform rank structure that the county has adopted, we have to have the same certifications as our professional colleagues. So whenever you call 911, if you get a paramedic unit or an engine that's a volunteer company, you wouldn't even know the difference because the service is going to be exactly the same. I personally have been through thousands of hours of training to get to where I am as a firefighter and a paramedic. And again, whenever we go out the door in those units, the expectation of the community is that we're providing top-notch service, whether we're volunteers or career. And I think it serves the community very well that they're able to receive that at an advantage toward the tax base, where we're providing it for free versus at a salary.
My name is Mike Yankaskas, and I'm a volunteer lieutenant with the OWL Volunteer Fire Department. So I'm an EMS lead with the department, and so I started out by taking my EMT class. I took a series of state tests, I took a national test, and once I took those tests and passed them, I turned my training into the department, and then at which point I worked with the county and I went through what we call an Office of Medical Director internship, where I went on a series of calls. I reviewed our local procedures for what we do and how we treat patients, and when I completed that, I was able to be a provider here in the county.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Lawrence Watt. I'm an EMT here at Yorkshire Fire Department. The reason why I think it's important is because it not only provides, the way I see it, is for kids, a career path, other than just going to college or working for a private company. It also shows other kids or people like me who want to give something back and don't know how. You could join the fire service, you could be a firefighter, you could be EMT as of like what I'm doing right now. And I think that really works because you get an opportunity to see your neighbors and you're helping out, like neighbors, like what we say, neighbors helping out neighbors.
Hi, my name is Kayla Stannard, and I am an EMS lieutenant at Lake Jackson Volunteer Fire Department. My first call was a pretty simple one, but they very quickly can advance into more than you think. Like you might just think you're going on to a simple, oh, this person has a cold, and it turns into much more than that. And every call has its own challenges, and you really start to learn the more you do it, what a difference you're actually making, even with the people that, just have a cold or something. Like, to them, it's always their crisis, like it's always their bad day, and we're coming in on, some of the worst moments of their lives most of the time. And to realize that we're making a difference in that and that we are helping them, it makes it very real after all the training, because we can do stuff on mannequins all day, practicing in class and stuff, but the moment that you're actually doing CPR and you bring someone back, it's kind of crazy, to be honest, because you don't think you can actually do that. And just to realize what you're capable of doing after all the training and the difference you can make, it's unreal.
Okay, my name is Chief Nick Nanna, and I'm the chief of the Dumfries-Triangle Volunteer Fire Department. I started when I was 17 years old in my hometown just outside New York City. I'm now 63, so I got over 40 years in the fire service. I got involved in this department. I'm an active duty Marine Colonel. I retired in 2013, and every time I was stationed at Quantico, I just rejoined this department. When I retired from the Marine Corps in 2013, I stayed here. My wife and I live in Dumfries, and I became the chief 2 years ago.
I'm Lexi, and I'm a firefighter here at Yorkshire Volunteer Fire Department. At the beginning, when I was becoming a firefighter, it was very, very time consuming, and it is a big commitment at the beginning, but it's definitely super rewarding. And once you get through the academy and become a firefighter on the engine, it definitely lessens a lot with the time commitment. It was so challenging, but after completing the different tasks and skills, and getting to walk up at graduation and receive my helmet, it was just super rewarding because there were things that I didn't think that I would be able to get through physically or mentally, but I'd pushed myself beyond the brink of what I thought I could do. And I think that was just really rewarding for me because physically and mentally, sometimes I felt like I couldn't do it, but with the support of my station and the people in the academy, I was able to make it through things that I would have never thought that I would be able to do.
My name is Tyler Garner. I'm a lieutenant at the Nokesville Fire Department. I've been a firefighter for the last 13 years. I started it while I was in college as something that I've always wanted to do, but it offered a good chance to help out the community, and I thought it provided a lot of personal benefits as well. We are part of the entire response system. It's one of those things, like I said, I've been doing this for 13 years in Prince William and outside of Prince William, and volunteering in general offers a lot of benefit to the community, but not only the community, also a lot of personal benefits for people who decide to partake in the program. It offers a lot of things like soft skills. You learn how to problem solve, how to troubleshoot. It offers critical thinking skills. When those bells go off, it's only us. There's nobody else coming, and we have to. It's me and the team that I have on that engine, or the other units, to solve somebody's problem that we've never been to that place in our life sometimes, and we have to be there and solve their problems with virtually no information. And so these critical thinking skills, these problem solving challenges, is probably one of the biggest benefits that I find personally as a volunteer.
My name is Brie McCluskey, and I am an EMT at Lake Jackson Volunteer Fire and Rescue. I've been here for 3 years, going on 4, and it's been awesome. It's probably been the best 3 years of my life, and I really couldn't imagine doing anything else. Being part of the fire and rescue service has meant so much to me and has really helped me grow as a person. It's how I figured out what I wanted to do as a career. I'm going through the process of becoming a career fire member, and it's, like I said, it's what I really want to do with my life.
Hello, my name's RJ Best. I'm a director and sergeant with the Dale City Volunteer Fire Department. Prince William County is actually really unique in that we are not like other Northern Virginia counties where we have 100% career staff or really close to it. We are also not like one of the 30,000 volunteer fire departments that are in the country, where the majority of the time they're having to have bake sales and other sort of fundraisers to get gear that they need. Prince William County is funded by taxpayers, our fire and rescue services, to include the volunteers. The volunteers are funded by a tax levy that pays for all of our gear, all of our training, everything that we need to operate, which is incredibly useful and really kind of essential to what we do, and enables us to buy rigs and have top of the line equipment and gear that most volunteer fire departments can't have.
My fire department, with our over 100 members, has provided 26,000 hours of volunteer service in this year, from June of last year until currently. So we'll have about 27,000 volunteer hours of service to this community that the county doesn't have to pay for. They provide my operations and maintenance budget, but that budget just supports our equipment, our fuel, and our operational funds. We provide all the manpower at no cost.
Volunteers are critical to any emergency response system. The value that we add is called increasing a station's reliability. And what that means is as we come in and staff, we add additional resources. So each fire station has additional capacity to handle more call volume. So for example, if there were multiple emergencies in a single area's responsibility, or places where they're supposed to be first due, then only one call or two could completely deplete the entire firehouse, and then trucks and engines from other first dues have to go to respond to them. But as volunteers come in, we add additional capacity and we start marking up additional units. And so this fire station can actually handle sometimes 4 or 5 emergencies within its own first due without calling for help from anyone else. And so that starts, that decreases response time. It increases our ability to get to the patients or to whoever's having the emergency and mitigate it quickly. And so it provides response systems with a lot of flexibility. You mentioned the economic impact, right? We don't add additional expense, but we allow the fire department to do much more with the apparatus that it has and the resources that it has.
My name's Nick Kelly. I'm the chief of the Stonewall Jackson Volunteer Fire Department. I've seen a lot of changes in 24 years to the volunteer system and the system overall, the fire and rescue system overall here in Prince William County. I can't tell you how incredibly proud I am of my members, my volunteer members, and my career members. That's when you're assigned here as a career member, you are a member of this firehouse, and that's the way we interpret that. Couldn't be prouder of how these folks have come through. For our volunteer members in particular, it's especially important to remember how much they're giving, especially during this time. I've got several members who, they have other jobs, and they're still coming in and they're still giving that public service. Kids are still going to class, and I call them kids because they are kids to me. They're still going to these classes, they're still learning those basic skills, and they're putting in effort, and they're still going back to their day jobs.
I think this is a great opportunity to learn something, to work in the public arena, to help your neighbors. I think it's a great thing. I'll just say this one thing. We worked a fair one time, and we had the firefighters. Like I said, I'm an EMT. And this one lady, she just shouted, "Hey, Yorkshire, how you doing?" I was just like, oh, I didn't know who that lady was. But just because she saw Yorkshire Fire Department and she lived right up the road, she automatically knew who we were, and we were all family. And I thought that was really great. So just like I said, neighbors helping neighbors.
I'm Donovan Stewart. I'm a lieutenant with the Dale City Volunteer Fire Department. It's not necessarily something I thought I was going to be doing nowadays, but one of those days I was at my mother's house. I got a flyer in the mail that said, "Hey, come be a volunteer." And I knew about Section 13 from back when the high school, they used to have like the high school parties here. So, I pulled up and I put my application in. Best decision I ever made. A lot of people know their career paths and they know their plans. I personally didn't when I joined the Volunteer Fire Department. I joined when I was 19 years old, and I had no idea the places that they would take me, the people that it would introduce me to, and the positions that it would place me in, okay? Now, it's not for everybody. However, I would highly recommend that you live near a volunteer fire department. If there's a volunteer fire department near you, go in, pop in, just get your feet wet. You can always say no later, right? But it can definitely, change your life. Definitely living proof.
I love being here. I've made great friendships with my crews, both volunteer and career-wise. And I think that's really important. People come here not only to, serve the community, to do work, but to train, to build those friendships and camaraderies and a mutual respect, I think, for everybody. We don't just train volunteers amongst volunteers, we train with the careers. It's important that we all learn skills together, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which shirt you're wearing, whether it's a county employee or a volunteer shirt. We're here to help the community.
Probably the biggest thing for me personally is, being a volunteer is challenging in the fact that it takes a huge time commitment. It takes a lot of strain on your family and things like that. But as you join this organization and in this group, you find that the fire service actually gives you more than you give it. And so on those days when it is hard to come in and leave your family, you just have to remember that all the good things that this thing has done for you, right? So again, things like helping you with those problem-solving skills, things like helping you with your decision-making, and the bonds that we talk about all the time. Like, those things make it worthwhile, and that's why I do this, to try and give back more to the fire service than it's given me, but I'm not sure I'll ever be able to actually do that.
Anyone can do this, really. It just takes willingness and a lot of passion for it, honestly. Like, you have to work for it. But especially females, like, this is not a male-only field, and people think it is, but as soon as you get in here, you realize there are actually a lot of females in this, and it's for everyone. The diversity, everyone gets along. It's not, the guys and the girls at all. We are all brothers and sisters, and this is definitely something, like I said, that is for everyone, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.